10 days, because the moment every satellite keeps moving, there are issues which relate to the antennas which are transferring the signal. So not only distance, clarity, the kind of bandwidth, everything will have an impact. So there are issues between satellite companies dealing with their orbital positioning and the spectrum. Spectrum is, I mean, if you knew a rainbow, you will know that how many kinds of, there will be issues relating to the kind of code that they use, which may conflict. If you see, telecommunication has become so advanced that you use a Wi-Fi, which is your personal Wi-Fi at home. You use n number of cell phones which are having signals. All of them are moving on signals right through them, but there's no conflict. You will find hardly any occasion when there's a wrong number. You may dial a wrong number unless there is a defect in some of the providing. In digital communication, the communication is always, the conflicts are avoided. There's a huge, it may be blocked, but it doesn't go to a wrong number. It doesn't land on a wrong number, usually. Have you had any experience, anybody having a cell phone wrong number? Well, yeah, you. It's a bad network, must tell you. But anyway, by and large, the conflicts of the spectrum are avoided because there are the radio spectrum and orbital position rules regarding that, and everyone will be given a particular lane, and they will have to use that particular code to send out their signal so that there is no conflict between the service providers. And there are rules applicable to international common carriers. Again, interstate, all of these similar kind of issues are applicable to all the AT&T, MCI, British Telecom, French Telecom. All of these will sit together and choose. It's like choosing your chair. That if you're going to be sitting there, nobody else is occupying that chair, cannot occupy that chair. It's in that fashion. So they have to use their slots, use their spectrums and orbital positions of the satellite communications. It's a very complex world of telecommunications, and the kind of, I think you can correct me on that, the annual international budget on this is about $500 billion and still growing, which is growing at a great pace that you have. So the kind of issues that you have with respect to telecommunication is, my friend here I saw, though I came late, has dealt extensively with the GATS, which is the General Agreement on Trade Services, and has educated you on many aspects of that. The only other thing that I would like to say is that there is also an arbitration center that is set up in Czechoslovakia, where issues like this, outside the WTO, which is more sophisticated, no doubt. I had read that outside the Czechoslovakia arbitration is also there, where some of these things are there. But international telecommunication essentially is dealt with in international arena. There is not much scope except for what I did for Michael Johnson in 1995, and he was happy. We're still friends. He set up an ISP called Now in London. He's a great satellite technology specialist. By and large, local courts do not have so much jurisdiction when it comes to larger issues, but an international telecom company may come into India and find a dispute relating to payments, a dispute relating to equipment, non-return of equipment, misuse of equipment, a violation of the contract with respect to the equipment that has been provided. These kind of things I have dealt with. I have been advising some telecom companies in India, and with that I'd like to thank you for having heard me patiently, and thank all of you here.
Very interesting speech and very informative on the legal and other disputes and the dispute resolution mechanisms for these various organizations, and also through arbitration and WTO. So any further queries on these issues?
Actually, I'd like to ask a question as to when we talk about agreements between different networks throughout the world, they assume an international approach, and then we're talking about different jurisdictions. So in case there is a dispute in those agreements, then where would that case go? Which place will have the jurisdiction?
Good question. You see, in all international contracts, by and large, there is a clause for dispute resolution which deals and mentions the venue or the choice of venues. You can have the London Court of Arbitration, you can have the Chamber of Arbitration in Paris, you have Hong Kong as a destination, you have one of those American, under the American Bar Association arbitration. So the choice of arbitral venue is always specified in the contract as to which place they would like to choose. In fact, we are having a very good arbitration.
Now India will have a bench of the London arbitration, London Court of Arbitration. Then we have a bench in India as well.
So all contracts between international contracts will have that clause as to what will be the. They usually go for arbitration. They try to avoid and eliminate and remove the courts of law for any of their dispute resolution. They can even choose the WTO. Anyone else? Anybody? Yeah.
So what is the legal status of VoIP in India? Is it allowed or is it partially allowed? What is the legal framework for VoIP? Voice over Internet Protocol.
Oh, yeah, good question. I'm advising a company on it. The VoIP is a fully licensed, is fully licensed in India as a technological use for communication. Many companies here have got it. You would be finding advertisements. One of the companies that I know is WorldPhone, which I advise. WorldPhone gives you VoIP. It sets up a little instrument in your home. It's connected to your computer. You pick it up and you have a number which can be dialed. You can dial out into the United States. It's a completely legal technology. The VoIP is a completely legal technology and licensed by Government of India for that purpose. Yeah.
So my question is typically in an Indian perspective. So we often need to hear this tussle going on between DOT and tribe.
Yeah.
So could you please enlighten what is the issue that they keep on having conflict of?
You see, DOT, Department of Telecommunication, is a Government of India body. And TRAI, Telecommunication Regulatory Authority of India, is a quasi-judicial body which is adjudicating on disputes primarily. So the DOT is a licensor. It is giving conditions. It's trying to regulate the market. The government is trying to regulate the market. The TRAI goes into the question whether it is correct legally to do so or not. So at decision, TRAI, do you know advance ruling? There's a body called advance ruling in taxation.
Yes.
Yeah. So what it does, it sort of, you can actually go to the advance ruling and get yourself a decision as to whether what kind of tax is payable and whatever provisions are applying. You can also do same things in the TRI, or you can even challenge any of the DOT regulations in TRI. So that is a judicial, quasi-judicial body, TRAI, whereas DOT is a government licensor. So DOT will always try to sort of control, regulate, earn better licensing fee, or try to see what are the disputes that are. Some of them may be unimaginative, some of them may not be feasible. But ultimately, TRI will prevail. Its decisions will be prevail because it's an adjudicatory body as opposed to DOT. DOT is just like the government. So let me give you another example. Government of India will license, forestry, forest produce, mining, etc. And they will have some regulations. You are unhappy with it, you go to a court of law and you challenge it. And the court will decide. It's like that. DOT is a part of Government of India. TRS, yeah.
I slightly want to differ on that. See, DOT as such is the owner of all the airwaves which are there for providing
license.
So whatever it gives to a private operator, it earns money from that. What TRAI does is regulates, as he rightly said, that it regulates that on what conditions you have given. But it is not the adjudicatory authority, it is an opining authority. The adjudicatory authority is the Telecom Dispute Settlement. It's the TDSAT.
TDSAT, sorry.
Which is the adjudicatory
I stand corrected, he's right about it.
on the issues whether the DOT is rightly given the license, whether the terms are unfair, whether it suits the business, all these disputes, TRA has more of an advisory in nature. It does not.
Yeah, that's right. The adjudicatory side. I'm sorry.
If I may ask, this time you said that WTO can be one of the arbitration centers which can be mentioned in the agreement between two private parties as well. Isn't it so that WTO can only take cases of states and not of individuals or companies?
No, I was given to understand, I may be incorrect on that, but I was given to understand that the dispute resolution mechanism of WTO could be used for large telecom companies who are trying to, because it's just a mechanism, it's not, the WTO essentially does all disputes relating to the states. But the mechanism that is available, it's like an arbitration tribunal, could be used for...
Probably they can adopt that mechanism,
yeah.
But certainly body will be some other body.
Perhaps it could have a different color also.
So, any further questions or any other comments that any of the participants would like to, or anybody else would like to address on these issues? You want to can have an open house? This is a very interesting and very nerve-wracking and nerve-picking issue on the dispute resolution and the alternate modes as well as the legal modes. And we really thank the speakers for having thrown so much light on the legal issues on telecommunication. I would request all the participants to join us for lunch. And after the lunch, the next session would be, the respective working sessions would be at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock in the 7th. Thank you.
Participate as a speaker in this session. We have only 2 speakers.
Start everybody.
Okay. This session is on speedy justice. We have 2 speakers. We can have more interaction after this both presentation is over. That already changed. Speedy justice, then international law and global efforts to combat stress. That is the call number 2. These are the and also if somebody is supposed to be act as a speaker, welcome. I will introduce this topic in a very short manner because I am taking you back to 1 month back. The Justice Ministry had a serious exercise in the same venue with regard to